you remember curling up on your couch on a Saturday morning with your favorite blanket, a bowl of Lucky Charms, and a remote, ready to be entertained for hours by your favorite animated characters? Do you remember waiting till the commercial break to run to the bathroom as quickly as you could so you didn't miss 1 second of programming? If so, you might be a Xennial, and we are too. Hi, everyone. I'm Dani.
And I'm Katie.
And you are listening to Generation In Between, a Xennial podcast. This is where we revisit, we remember, and sometimes we relearn all kinds of things from our 80s childhoods and 90s teens / young adulthoods. And if you couldn't tell by our intro, today we will be revisiting one of Katie's least favorite things and one of Dani's favorite things, and that is cartoons. Woo!
Yay? Question mark.
I think you're going to really enjoy this one, though. I do. And if you don't, I'm sorry. You're going to get back at me when we talk about country music. So
yes. Oh, I hope you guys stick around because the country music episodes and Dani are going to be like me and cartoons and me and video games, but flipped. It's going to be great.
You did put me through pageants as well. So
I did.
If y'all missed that one, go back and listen. Although I did learn stuff. Mm-hmm. So, okay. So today what we're going to talk about, I spent like way long days researching this a couple weeks ago. I even rewatched a lot of the stuff, and because I did, so did my family, some members of my family, and I'll weigh in on what they enjoyed and what they were like, what are we watching? So specifically today, we're going to talk about Saturday morning cartoons of the 80s and the 90s. And we're going to chat about some generational favorites you may have forgotten about. So we've already discussed some of the big names in Xennial, like cartoondom, like Care Bears. We talked about in our Toy Memory episode. We talked about Garfield and Cats and Dogs. And most recently, we talked about The Simpsons and Muppet Babies in our theme song episode. So if you haven't listened to any of those, please go do that. Mm-hmm. So today, we're going to focus on some others that may not have crossed your memory bank in a while, but I guarantee it will bring some of y'all right back to that plaid couch in your family living room, okay? We had one. Did you have a plaid couch?
It wasn't plaid, but it was like this almost like periwinkle blue, kind of floral faded.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Mm. Yeah. It's in a lot of like my Christmas morning pictures. Yeah, that couch is burned in my memory.
Yeah, we had a green plaid.
I love it.
With wood paneling in the walls before my mom renovated at some point. But yeah. We also had blue shag carpeting for a really long time.
We had orange shag carpeting.
Yes, you did.
Yes, we did. And to be fair, it was there when my parents bought the house. And they bought it as a fixer-upper. But that carpet stayed forever.
Because it was expensive.
We changed like everything else. And then finally, I think I was in like middle school and we'd lived there maybe 4 or 5 years. My dad was like, yeah, it's time.
Shag carpet is nasty to keep clean. It is if you have pets, OMG.
Definitely. Yeah. Wood floors are the way to go.
All right. So we're not talking about home furnishings.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No.
Before we get going, though, we have some circle backs and shout outs. And I have one that I keep forgetting to do. I do have several shout outs, but they all go by one name. And it is not Jennifer. That name is Sarah. Okay. So I actually have a lot of friends who have become listeners named Sarah. So I keep forgetting to shout them out. Now, they don't all spell it the same way. Some spell it S-A-R-A, some spell it S-A-R-A-H, and they will argue with you and tell you which one is correct.
Yes, they will.
But anyways, no matter the spelling, I just want the Sarahs to know we love you. Thanks for listening. Mm-hmm. So shout out Sarahs and, of course, our Jennifers.
I love that.
I know, yeah.
Welcome all the Sarahs and Jennifers. And others.
Do you have any?
I was just going to follow up on, we mentioned in last episode, our new listener, Carlos, who's a good friend of ours, who's actually going to be a guest on the show, hopefully this summer. But I saw him yesterday and we were talking about the cats versus dog episode.
He's a dog person.
He is. But he got this fact right. When I was talking about Homeward Bound and I hadn't rewatched it for the episode, I was just like using my recollection. I got something wrong about how the cat, Sassy, got swept away in the river.
Yeah, not the dog.
And then at the end, like, the cat finds her way
So
home,
a man
etc.
rescues her and like gets her back to health.
And she's like at a farm or something.
So
and
is
then-
the cat making the run home
So the cat
in
and
the last scene? Or
it's
they
all
were?
three.
Oh, that's right.
They come together. So it's all three in that final
Okay.
scene. So that wasn't wrong. But, the part about the cat was, that was a lot. And so I just wanted to correct that. And also, thank you, Carlos. And Carlos didn't rewatch it. That's just from his memory.
I know Carlos has been correcting us left and right. So like we can't even list all of them. There were some he said, I'm like, well, it's been a long time. We're not even going to go back.
We're not going to circle back to the episode from November.
He has a great memory. Mm-hmm. Legit. Like super great memory.
Seriously, you guys are going to love him. So we'll get him on ASAP.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We're not even telling you what he's talking about.
No, we're not. And we've got some other special guests coming on soon too. But that was it for me.
Okay. Well, guys. Katie, okay, so let's set the scene here. Katie and I'm in half pajamas. Like I have on the pants I slept in, but I had to work out this morning, so I just put them back on after I took my sweaty clothes off. But Katie is full up, like jammy pants, t-shirt. She's got a Snoopy blankie.
I do, you guys. I brought a cartoon character.
I'm loving this. It's just great. So we're ready. We're ready to chat cartoons.
We're ready.
But before we get into my specifics, Katie, I have to know, what do you remember about Saturday mornings as a kid? And were cartoons ever a part of them?
Honestly, I don't have many Saturday morning memories. I was always involved in a lot of stuff, and maybe that was when I got a little older. I don't remember like watching cartoons. I just remember like getting up and going and doing stuff.
Got you.
Like time to go to dance or time to go to gymnastics or whatever. I'm sure there was some sort of relaxation involved. I just don't remember any of it.
Katie's like, I've always had 15 jobs from the age of 5.
Turned 5, that was it. I will say, like, my parents didn't watch a lot of TV. We did have a TV, and I know they would watch stuff like after we went to bed, like sitcoms and stuff. But they didn't like us to watch a lot of TV. And I've mentioned before, my mom was like always there.
Yeah.
So I think we just had to do other stuff Saturday mornings.
Gotcha.
Like we didn't really watch stuff. Now my brothers, I remember them watching more cartoons and stuff than I did, especially by my youngest brother, right? Because you get further along in the kids, and it's like
less worried about
watch
things.
TV, yeah.
Yes.
So I know he has like more. He's 5 years younger than me. More memories of probably these types of things, but. Personally, I don't remember it. And even at my grandparents, I don't remember watching cartoons at my grandparents either.
Okay, well, that's what I thought you were going to say.
You're like, well, I was going to see if you surprised me.
I know.
And
I was like, I was going to see if Katie was like, actually, Dani, I do. But no, I knew you were going to say that because I had the opposite, like very opposite. Like Saturday mornings were like a big ordeal for me. And I think I shared on one episode, like my mom was an ER nurse. Okay. And, so her only morning to like sleep in, she's not a morning person. She's never been a morning person. And I am a morning person. Which if you are not a morning person and you have a child who is a morning person, that is annoying. Mm-hmm. Because my husband is not a morning person. Yes. Having little children that wake up super early. Anyways, I am a morning person. And I would love to get up even earlier on Saturdays because cartoons started. Mm-hmm. And like this was pre-streaming. And I would sit there with my little cereal and I said Lucky Charms because that was my favorite cereal.
Yes.
Okay. And I would watch cartoons all morning long, like legit all morning. So it's funny because I forgot about some. And then the more I was researching and I'd find one, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes me remember this one. I'm like, I legitimately spent half my childhood watching TV. But look at all the info I have for the podcast.
Seriously, look at all this research. So there's like the research component, but then there's the what does Patrick say? First-hand
account. Yes. But I remember even when I had stuff on Saturday mornings, like my mom would VCR tape it for me, right? She would record some of my favorite cartoons so I wouldn't miss them. Because guys, you missed that Saturday morning. It was gone. Like, yep. And that was even pre, like Nickelodeon wasn't going quite yet. Disney Channel wasn't going quite yet. Mm-hmm. So like Saturday morning was when you had kid shows.
Yep.
That was kid shows.
Had to watch it then or have a parent who would tape it for you.
Yeah. So, and my mom, it's funny because she was not a TV watcher either. But like she wanted to sleep in a bit on Saturday morning. And so, hey, I had a great time. So, all right. So we're going to get going. I'm going to start in the 80s. And I cannot, I am so excited that you probably don't know hardly any of this stuff because you're going to be like, what is happening? This is so weird. And my kid was like, some of this stuff is so strange, but it was the 80s, guys. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So the first show we're going to talk about is called Snorks.
Okay. Let me click. I'm ready.
Okay. I am going to play the song and then I'll explain to you what Snorks was about and what they are. And now I can't find my links to my
I'm watching on mute since she's pulling up the music.
I'm pulling up the music.
Opening.
Yeah. So ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Here it comes, guys. Okay. All right.
Wow.
So you can see the picture. Did you say
I'm watching it too. So
all right. So for those of you out there listening who have never heard of this cartoon, I'm going to explain to you what it is. So the Snorks, some of the stuff I typed is like an official description, which is hilarious. So here's one. The Snorks are a race of small, colorful, anthropomorphic sea creatures that live in the undersea world of Snorkland. They have snorkels on their heads, which are used to propel them swiftly through the water. They also play music, and when they're excited, it makes a snork sound out of their snorkel.
What?
Okay.
Are we just going to pretend that snork is a word?
Yeah.
Is it just like, we're just going to insert
That's what
this?
they are. Yes.
Okay.
Because of the snorkels on their heads. So they're the snorks. So the snorks actually in Snorkland underwater, they have much of the same technology as contemporary humans. Okay. Like adapted to their own like aquatic environment. So they use clams as money. They wear clothes.
I saw that.
Yeah. So it's kind of like they adopted a lot of the human things. So I'm going to tell you about some of the characters. So the main hero of the series, you can see in that picture, his name is All-Star Seaworthy. He's a yellow snork who's brave, and he always thinks up the creative ideas, and he's like their leader, okay?
Okay.
Then you have his love interest, and her name is Casey Kelp.
Uh-oh.
And she's pink, and she has these cute little pigtails. He has a pet octopus named Aki. He has a friend. This one was my favorite. His name was Tutor Shelby, who only communicates by tooting at various levels and tones through a snorkel. So you go.
So by tooting, you mean a sound, not like tooting out of your butt.
No.
Okay.
It's tooting out of his snorkel, and that's how he talked. He didn't say words. He just tooted.
Okay.
He was great. And then they had their rival. His name was Junior Wetworth.
Wow.
Yeah.
He sounds scary.
So here's the thing. When I was researching I forgot to tell you when it aired. So let me go back and tell you. The Snorks aired September 1984 to March 1989.
Okay.
So here's the thing. When I tell you all the different cartoons and their air dates, some of them doesn't mean they were consistently having new seasons made during the time. Mm-hmm. They were airing reruns sometimes too.
Okay.
But it was just when they were like in syndication or whatever. Okay. So the Snorks, they were really hard to find like full episodes of. Most of the time you can find like full episodes on YouTube, like, even though they're probably illegal, but
right.
like
they're still there.
They're not streaming anywhere. Like I couldn't find them on YouTube. I could find clips of episodes, but not like full episodes until I did find them on this website that actually Patrick told me about a long time ago and I forgot about it. And it's called archive.org, and they have like an internet archive. Have you heard of this?
I have. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's a nonprofit library that has like millions of books, movies, music, website. It has old websites too.
Nice.
That are like not out anymore, and you can go and search for whatever. So that's where I found it.
Nice.
So I did watch a few episodes of Snorks. And what I forgot is they had this elaborate backstory in the very first episode in like the first 5 minutes. Are you ready for this?
I guess.
Katie's face is the best. I wish I could. I should have taken.
I'm glad you started with this one.
Oh, this is just the beginning.
Oh, dear. I thought we were starting with like the most ridiculous and
the most weirdest. No. Okay.
I'm ready.
So snorks have this elaborate backstory, like I just said. So are you ready for this? Okay, so a few snorks ventured to the ocean surface, which the snorks believe is outer space. Okay. In 1643, and they watched a Royal Navy ship of the Spanish Armada being attacked by pirates. The captain of the ship wound up in the water, and then the little snorks saved his life. So the captain then expressed his gratitude by writing this whole book about the snorks and all about the way they live and all this stuff. And then very few humans believed in their existence. So that was in the first 5 minutes of the show.
Okay. So that's
weird.
That's how we know about them, because of this captain?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
So there you go. So that's their backstory.
It just seems like, why?
I don't know.
You don't need to
but listen,
have all this.
This question you're going to ask for like all these cartoons. Okay.
Okay.
You have to remember the 80s were full of like, why? Okay.
Yeah.
Like what in the world and why? This is just a beginning. So, okay. The creation of the Snorks as a cartoon, who do they look like in the animation?
Yeah, they
style?
look like Smurfs.
Okay.
And I wondered for a second, I was like, wait, is this a Smurf spinoff?
Mm-hmm.
And then because Snorks kind of sounds like Smurfs,
Right.
like, but it's not?
It's not a spinoff, but they were created to compete with the Smurfs.
Okay.
All right. So actually, the Smurfs and the Snorks were overseas comics first before they were cartoons here in the States. So the Smurfs were a cartoon, a comic in France, and then the Snorks were a comic in Belgium.
Okay.
So very interesting. So this was like a big deep dive. There was like all this drama, and I don't even feel like I tried for like an hour to figure out how to summarize all the legal stuff, and then I was like, nobody cares. I'm just not doing it. So like,
yeah,
there was all kinds of drama with the producer of both cartoons, and is a guy by the name of Freddie Monicandam. You're looking at the name.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Monicandam.
Okay, whatever. This guy, he was a producer. He had drama with the original artists of the comics. A man who went by the name Peyo created the Smurfs comic. Okay. That was like his artistic name. And then a guy named Nick Broca created the Snorks. So this guy, Freddie, was the producer for both cartoons. There's all kinds of drama, all kinds of legal stuff, in and out of courtrooms, blah, blah, blah. Lots of legal nonsense happened. But the bottom line is the Snorks never did quite live up to their more successful cousin, the Smurfs.
Yes.
They just
I could see that.
Okay. So that's all you really need to know.
Okay.
I didn't have a whole lot of like random things, but I did remember 80s toys from 80s cartoons were huge because capitalism was living its life in the 80s. All right. Marketing to children was fabulous. And I was a sucker for all of it. So look at that picture, Katie. I had these little plastic rubber Snorks figurines, okay? Mm-hmm. And I used to play with them in the bathtub, because they're Snorks.
Oh, I see. I thought you were, you know what I thought when you said
what?
Duh?
Oh my God, I don't know.
And I almost said, because they're plastic. Zero imagination whatsoever. It's just like practically these can go in the bathtub.
The way that Katie and I's brains are so similar and then so different is just the best. But look how cute they are. They're so cute.
They are actually really cute. I like the one with the pigtails.
Yeah.
Casey. Yeah, she's cute.
Yeah. The thing I love so much about old 80s cartoons is the bright colors. Like everything was bright. You know, I love me some bright colors. Maybe that's why I like cartoons still so much, because I don't really love a lot of the modern cartoons. And that's why they're not as bright and like whimsical and just weird. Like, it's like, this is weird, right?
It's weird. You're right, though, because it doesn't, like, again, the why is also just like, well, it's all made up, so why not? You know,
of course.
Like it's all just imaginative. It doesn't have to necessarily be grounded in something real.
Of course. So that's
fine.
That's the Snorks, okay?
Okay.
I can't wait to move on to this next one.
Let's do it.
Because I loved it so much.
Okay. I'm going to pull it up.
I'm so ready. Okay, so we're going to talk about Wuzzles next.
Ooh.
Okay? I'm going to play you the theme song. Hold on. Let me wait till I get mine. Tell me when you're ready. Katie's playing hers on her computer.
I'm ready.
Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Oh, sorry. Well, that's the little... Okay. Oh.
little bit of that, and when you add it up, you get a lot of this. Ooh, they got originality, living with a split personality. With a was, ooh yeah, with a was.
Okay. I had to just get to that part.
Oh my gosh. I think I missed my calling as a cartoon jingle writer because
Listen, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's another thing. The 80s
pretty
and 90s, the theme songs slapped.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good, honestly.
They were bops, okay? And as soon as I hit play on all these, I remembered the words. I forgot to tell y'all. The Snorks theme song I played was not the original Snorks, but that's the one I remember. I think that one came out like their second or third season.
Okay.
Just a disclaimer. Okay, but we're talking about Wuzzles, which is like so fun. And I can't wait to see Katie's face every 5 seconds while we're talking about this. So the Wuzzles aired September through December 1985. So not very long. Okay.
Wait. What did you just say? September
1985
in 1 year?
to December 1985.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's short.
Well, you'll hear there's a little more to that story.
Okay.
So the Wuzzles, for those of you listening, here's the official synopsis. The Wuzzles features a variety of short, rounded animal characters. Each is a colorful mix of 2 different animal species with self-descriptive names, such as Butterbear, Bumbleian, Ellaroo, and Rhinoki.
Oh, that's really cute.
All of the characters sport wings on their backs, although only 2 are seemingly capable of flight, Bumbleian and Butterbear. Okay, they're the only ones that can fly. All the Wuzzles live on the Isle of Wuz. Double species are not limited to the Wuzzles. Oh no. Nearly everything on Wuz is mixed together the same way. So they eat things like appleberries. They use a telephonograph in their houses, like a very luxury fancy home is called a castle scraper.
Oh my gosh.
But basically this is a Disney cartoon. It's basically like genetic mutation, except bright colors.
Yay! Honestly, again, coming back to the words of things, I just like the wordplay in all of this. Is so much fun. Bumbleian, how fun is that to say?
So their names are self-descriptive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously Ellaroo is an elephant and a kangaroo mixed together.
Mm-hmm.
Bumbleian is a bumblebee and a lion.
I was like, and
my favorite name though is Rhinoki, who's a rhinoceros and a monkey.
Oh, I was gonna say, what is that one?
But I'm like, why didn't they make it Rhinonki?
Rhino.
Or because monkey.
Yeah, monkey.
Rhinoki. Well, whatever.
It's weird.
Anyways, so those are the Wuzzles, and they are so fun and cute. You can just see by the picture and the theme song like that you just watched. What I loved, here's some things I remembered that I loved about this show while I was researching. Each episode has like a narrator voice, like he's like the narrator and he talks to you, he tells you the story, tells you what's happening to the Wuzzles. Sometimes the Wuzzles like address him and like it's just really cute. I like that kind of storytelling aspect where you have a narrator. So here, let me give you a little background. The Wuzzles was an idea pitched by Michael Eisner.
Ah,
yeah.
He's back.
He's back to his new Disney television animation studio, which we talked a little bit about in the Disney Renaissance.
Yeah, a little
right?
bit, yeah.
So Disney premiered the Wuzzles on CBS, ironically, in the same 8:30 a.m. time slot on the same day as another of its new series, The Adventures of the Gummy Bears. Okay. Now, do you know that show?
Gummy bears. Yeah, I feel like I know the song.
Gummy bears, bouncing here and there.
Oh,
No, wrong.
but when you did gummy bears,
And it says, bouncing here and there and everywhere. For adventures, that's me. Okay, well, we're not talking about them right now. I didn't put them on the list because people still really know a lot about them. People don't forget about them.
forgotten. Yeah, got it.
Okay. So they premiered 2 shows on the same day at the same time, just on different networks. Okay. So Gummy Bears premiered on NBC. And ironically, like both shows had great success during their first season. Both of them did really well. But the Wuzzles abruptly ended mostly due to the death of Bill Scott, who voiced Moosel.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to laugh.
Half moose, half seal.
Okay, that was going to be my question.
Yeah. So that's a sad piece. So that's kind of why they were kind of abruptly ended. But then ABC, which Disney bought in 96, but ABC picked it up and showed reruns during the 86, 87 season, which is when I remember watching it.
Okay.
Because I was 6 and 7 at that time. So that's like the perfect age for the show. They aired it at 8 a.m. So again, my little self had to get up early so I could catch them wuzzles. Okay. Like,
that is early.
They aired it at 8 a.m. and then Gummy Bears came on at 8:30. So they aired it at 8 so the two wouldn't compete anymore. And then they did reruns again in later years when Disney Channel came out, and then even later when Toon Disney came out.
Okay.
So they were kind of around, even though they had that abrupt end, they still used the reruns. So interesting. Another fun little Disney trivia here, Katie. The cute little characters of Butterbear and Rhinoki actually appeared in DuckTales cartoon in 2017 when they did they did a revamp. There was an episode called The Lost Cargo of Kit Cloudkicker. It's just so cute.
That's adorable.
But the weird thing is, unlike their original appearance when they were in their little show, they changed it a little bit. So their designs are kind of more realistic and animalistic, and Rhinoki resembles more of a gorilla instead of a monkey. So they kind of updated them, and it's not as fun.
It's not as fun. Okay.
In my humble opinion. So, Katie, are you going to go watch Wuzzles?
I was thinking that my youngest might like this show.
Oh, my God. Tegan would be all over Wuzzles.
So we are looking for, like, not that we don't have enough to do, but we've been talking about things we want to do in the summer, right? So her and I are going to start the Harry Potter series together, because I haven't read through that with any of my kids specifically. Some of them have read it,
but not with you.
Not with me. So we're talking about that. So maybe I'll see if she wants to watch this with me. I would do it.
Yeah.
Because I will say they're super cute.
I know.
And I like their names. And I like the idea of that it's not just the animals. It's like everything's a mix of something. I don't know. That's like entertaining to me.
It's not weirding you out like the Snorks.
No.
Katie's like, it's like the McNugget buddies all over again with the Snorks.
Oh, no.
All right. So cartoons and toys obviously went hand in hand in the 80s.
Yeah.
I found a picture of one of the stuffed Wuzzles. I loved stuffed animals. Loved them. You can see a picture of him right there. I had Ellaroo.
He is so cute.
Describe him for us, Katie.
All right. So it's like an elephant, but standing up, not on like all fours.
Right. Correct.
So it's like a standing elephant with like the pink on the inside of the ears and then pink and purple on the trunk. And then it's got the same pink and purple pouch like a kangaroo.
Yes.
And it's like kind of sitting back on his haunches like a kangaroo would do. And it's got these like bright blue eyes. Oh, and this little like orange, almost like mohawk.
Yes.
It's so cute.
Isn't he cute? Yeah. Yes. I wish I still had that, but I don't know if I have a picture with any of my Wuzzles. But my mom still remembers this cartoon.
Wow.
Which is weird.
Well, that's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
Snorks did kind of flood back to me when we went over it. But like Wuzzles, I was like, oh, yeah, that was like, it just immediately popped in my mind remembering it. But
you do remember it?
I remembered Wuzzles, yeah. But when you said it was like such a short air, I was confused. But I guess
they had the reruns.
They aired, that's why, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. The dates are kind of weird. So I'll kind of explain like as we go on. So that's Wuzzles. Okay. So here comes another one that my husband was like, oh, I loved this cartoon. Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Well, let me pull up the
pull it up.
No one should terrify their neighborhood, but Heathcliff just won't be undone, playing pranks on everyone.
I have to skip ahead a little because I want to play my favorite part of this theme song. Let me see if I can get to it. Hold on. Okay, all right. Sorry for that. Sorry for that delay. That's my favorite part. So we are on Heathcliff and the Cadillac Cats. Cadillac is spelled C-A-T. All right. It aired 1984 to 1986. This cartoon is based on the Heathcliff comic strip. So this cartoon was cool because it was actually split into two segments. So the first segment focuses on the adventures of Heathcliff and his friends. And then the second segment focuses on the Cadillac Cats. And they're a gang of cats that live in a junkyard. Okay. They had Riff Raff. He was the leader and the shortest, which I love. And then they had Hector, Wordsworth, Mungo, and Cleo, the one token girl. And then at the end of the show, Katie, you'll love this. There's a little bitty short segment at the end that's like a public service announcement, and it's called Pet Tips.
Aww.
Where Heathcliff or another character, they'd give safety tips when it comes to raising pets.
Oh, that's really cute.
So they would, like, there was one I saw, the episode I watched, it was like, it's hot outside. It's summer. Don't leave your pet inside a closed car on a hot day. Leave the window down or take them with you. Like,
Aww.
it was so cute. And I forgot they did that. So I knew you would like that. So did you watch this cartoon? Do you know this cartoon at all?
I feel like this is another one maybe my brothers watched, because as soon as I saw his picture, I remember thinking he was a bad cat. Do you know what I mean? Not a bad cat, but like, and then when I played the theme song and he's like running out of the like store and the store owner's chasing him, I was like, okay, so I have a vague recollection of that, but I don't remember like any episodes per se.
Well, you're kind of, he was just kind of mischievous. Yes, he wasn't really bad.
Gotcha.
But there was some stuff that I found out. Like I did watch, like I said, I watched pretty much all cartoons. I did not watch some of the more typical, like, I hate to say boy cartoons because that's not right, but what was marketed to boys. I didn't watch Transformers and like all that stuff. Like a lot of action was not my jam, but hijinks were. So I did like Heathcliff. The most interesting part I found out was Mel Blanc, who's the voice of Bugs Bunny, was the voice of Heathcliff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, which he was also the voice of Daffy Duck, Sylvester, Yosemite Sam. He voiced so many characters. He was actually known as the man of 1,000 voices. So he's regarded as one of the most influential people in the voice acting industry. And like one of the greatest voice actors of all time.
I mean, you have to give props because like I've done some voiceover work, but generally it's as myself. Does that make sense? It's like we need a woman who sounds like this and has this kind of, so like I just kind of try to sound professional and do it as myself. But like an actual voice actor has, like when we talked about The Simpsons,
I know
some of those people voice, 10, 20
like Hank Azaria.
More. Yes. Hank Azaria. It's such a skill.
It is a skill.
To be able to do and not sound like yourself.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I was like, whoa. Then I went down this whole hole of like reading all about him.
Yeah.
But I was like, once I heard the voice, and I meant to put a clip in here, I forgot. So you'll have to eventually, everybody look up Heathcliff, listen to it for a second, and you'll hear that distinct like Bugs Bunny sound.
That is awesome.
So, excuse me. Another fun little 80s tidbit was Inspector Gadget makes several cameos in this show, which is really fun. You can see him in the episodes called Harem Cat,
Oh boy,
The Siamese Twins, Search for a Star, and Lifesaver.
Aw.
Also, his dog Brain makes an appearance too, and you can see him in Who's Got the Chocolate.
Oh my God. So I actually really liked Inspector Gadget.
I could see that.
I loved that
Dun,
show.
dun, 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 dun. Inspector Gadget. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, ooh. Yeah.
I loved Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
And Brain, his dog.
Yes. Of
So
course.
maybe if I watch a Heathcliff episode, I'll have to find one of those.
Yeah. I would say you would
That'll
probably
be the
enjoy
one to
that.
watch.
So here's another interesting piece of facts related. So a voice actor named Donna Christie, she voiced Iggy and Cleo on the show. She did an interview in 2015 that she said when the series first aired in 1984, the Cadillac Car Company disliked the show's original title, which was Heathcliff and the Cadillac Cat, spelled Cadillac, because the show name is Cadillac, CAT. Okay?
Right.
They didn't like it because the segments with the Cadillac Cats took place in a junkyard, and they felt if they put Cadillac in the name, then it could have ruined their reputation.
Oh.
You get it?
Yeah, because they're so fancy. I mean, I guess they are.
So
but...
they didn't want people associating a junkyard with Cadillac, okay?
Okay.
There you go. So the name of the show was changed temporarily to Heathcliff and Cats and Company, which does not work, or it's just simply Heathcliff to avoid legal issues. But then they eventually changed it to Cadillac Cats,
Which
spelled
is
with
cute.
a T.
That's
It's
cute
a play on
anyway.
words.
Yeah.
Great.
I like that better.
Yeah. So that's Heathcliff. That's our
All
little
right.
adventure with Heathcliff. Okay. So Katie's not freaked out
I'm
yet.
intrigued by Heathcliff. I think that might be the one. That
Okay.
and Wuzzles. Snorks is not happening.
Well, get ready because you're about to have another fun one.
Oh dear, what is
Also, this is one of the best cartoon theme songs of the late 80s. Okay?
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm pulling
Here we
it
go.
up.
One, two, three, four. Denver, the last dinosaur. He's my friend and a whole lot more. Denver, the last dinosaur. Shows me a world I never saw before. From the hot, hot jungle
I can't stop yet.
comes a cool friend, my pal Dino.
Okay, I'll stop.
Oh
All
my
right.
goodness.
I had to keep going.
Oh my goodness.
Have you ever heard of Denver the Last Dinosaur?
No. This one is like totally escaping me.
I love this. Okay, so there were 2 seasons of Denver the Last Dinosaur in 1988, and then they had reruns until 1990.
Okay.
Okay. So here's a summary of Denver the Last Dinosaur. When an unusually intelligent dinosaur unexpectedly hatches from a fossilized egg in 1980s California, a friendly group of human teenagers named Jeremy, Mario, Shades, and Wally, they adopt him. They teach him modern skills like pool volleyball and skateboarding while protecting him from villains like rock concert promoter Morton Fizback and evil scientist Professor Funt.
I'm telling you, those rock concert promoters, man, you
They're
got to be
so evil.
careful.
Another evil rock concert promoter comes up in another cartoon, swear.
Really?
Yes, uh-huh.
So I wonder, it makes you wonder because we do know that
I know.
like, there's corruption in this industry even today that artists deal with. If this was like some sort of insider like thing, like if we put this, other people in our industry are going to know
I know.
exactly what we mean.
Right. So this show was really cute. I did watch Denver, and like I said, it's one of my favorite cartoon theme songs. Denver. I mean,
It was cute. And then the theme song was cute. Like it was like people on skateboards.
I know.
And their hair's crazy. And the next thing you know, Denver the dinosaur's playing an electric guitar.
with some sunglasses on.
Some sunglasses. Oh my God, it was really cute.
All right. So some facts about this show. This show came out after like this big dinosaur boom that happened after the success of The Land Before Time
Okay.
in 1988.
Got
so, and I was totally part of that. Like, I wanted to be a paleontologist at this point in time.
Aw.
I know. That faded quickly. But anyway, there was this big dinosaur boom, so this show came out. Episodes of Denver focused on ecology, conservation, and greed with not so subtle messaging. So I don't know if you remember Captain Planet.
Yeah.
Yeah. How they kind of had like big messages. They weren't very subtle about it. They're pretty obvious. Like, same thing here. Okay. And actually, the show was recommended by the National Education Association
Okay.
because they do throw in some facts about dinosaurs. So I know you saw in the theme song when you were watching the little, they showed like historic, whatever. They do say some little historical facts when Denver has like flashbacks or whatever. Because they have this thing where they can touch the egg and it like, I might be remembering this wrong, but they touch the egg and they can see things back in time.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Weird, but whatever.
Where does the egg come from? It's his
Denver
egg?
came out of the egg. Yes.
Oh, so it's his egg.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Got
It's
it.
his fossilized egg. Anyways, you're like, what is the egg, Dani? You missed that.
I did. Sorry about that.
It's a cute
There's a lot
show.
happening.
I think you should just watch a couple minutes. But
I think I would like it.
the funny thing is, while you're on your computer, Katie, Google the name Morton Fizback. Okay. I totally thought
Oh.
that's the evil record producer guy. I thought Rodney Dangerfield was the voice of him.
Okay.
He is not, but he was drawn and voiced as a characterization of him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can see it just looking at him.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Huge comedic actor in the 80s, older man, just very
So
distinct
funny.
voice and look. And I thought for sure, I was like, oh yeah, Rodney Dangerfield was the voice of that bad guy. No, he wasn't, but it was made to look like him.
Got it.
Wonder how he felt about that.
Yeah,
I don't
wonder
know.
too. Maybe he was flattered.
I mean, maybe. But so here's the thing, capitalism in the 80s and kids. So Knott's Berry Farm offered a Denver promotional tie-in when they opened up its new Kingdom of the Dinosaurs attraction,
Ooh.
which took its last rider in 2004, guys. So you can't ride that anymore. And then Ralston Cereals did the same thing. They had a Denver tie-in when they came out with their brand of cereal called Diner-Soars. Get it?
Yes.
Diner.
Diner.
Which sold
stores.
poorly and was discontinued by the end of 88. Guess who ate that cereal? Me.
You did.
I remember buying it for the Denver toy or whatever that was in it. Yes, 100%.
That is adorable.
Because I saw that box and I was like, I ate that. I did.
But not for very long.
No,
because apparently
no.
it wasn't. That's so awesome, though.
But you see the little picture of the
Yes.
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
And that is the actual flyer from that was on the cereal box because you could win a ticket to Knott's Berry Farms
Fun.
from them. Yes. So anyways, that was just a little piece of trivia showing you how capitalism ties in everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. We're moving on. This is not really a forgotten favorite. This is a pretty widely known cult favorite, but I had to include it because I just had to.
You had to.
And I cannot wait to talk about this one. Okay. So here we
Okay,
go.
let me pull it up.
Katie's excited about this one.
I
She's
am,
like, I
actually.
actually know this one. All right, here we go.
Okay.
I have to let it keep going for that one part. Hold on. Okay. I couldn't play
Love
the theme
it.
song for Gem without letting the Misfits have their moment.
They had to. They had to have a good little ensemble moment.
Absolutely. All right. So Gem and the Holograms, y'all are all like, oh, Dani, everybody love that show. Correct. But I had to put them in because I just did. So they aired 1985 through 1988. Okay.
Okay.
So here we go. We're going to talk about what this is about. And then I cannot wait to talk to y'all about this. So the series revolves around Jerrica Benton. She is the owner and manager of Starlight Music, and her alter ego, Gem, lead singer of the rock group The Holograms. Okay, so this was like pre Hannah Montana. Okay.
Yes. I love that.
All right, Jerrica adopts the persona of Gem with the help of a holographic computer known as Synergy, which was built by Jerrica's father and is bequeathed to her after he dies. Gem has these big red star earrings, and that's how she communicates with Synergy. My favorite line in the show is, "Show's over, Synergy."
Yes. That was awesome.
Okay, yeah, y'all can hire me to be Gem. All right, so the Holograms, I can't wait to talk about all the names because I just have to, consist of Kimber Benton, that's Jerrica's younger sister. She's the keyboardist and main songwriter for the band. There's, I don't remember if it's Aja or Asia. One of those. She's a guitarist. Shanna plays the synth drums.
Yes.
Carmen, known as Rhea, became the band's fifth drummer after Shanna briefly leaves to pursue a career in fashion.
Briefly. I love it.
Because she comes back. Upon her return, Shanna becomes the band's bassist. But then the Holograms have two rival bands.
Ooh.
The Misfits, who you heard in the theme song, that is made up of petulant rich girl lead singer Pizzazz
Yes.
No nonsense guitarist Roxy. But then you have a very kind-hearted, sensitive guitar player. Do you remember the guitar?
As guitar players are.
Oh my gosh. Why can we?
Yes.
Do people still play the guitar?
I think so.
I love
but
them.
Maybe ironically.
80s.
I don't know. I love guitars too.
I know. Sensitive guitar player Stormer. And then they had a second season joiner, manipulative British saxophonist Jetta.
Ooh.
The names are just so good.
They're so good.
In the third season of Gem, though, they have another rival band called the Stingers. And these are guys. So they have an egotistical lead singer named Riot. They have a guitarist / con artist named Rapture. And a keyboardist named Minx.
Those are good names too.
Right? I know. That's why I had to put them in.
So
I had to put them in.
good.
Okay. So I rewatched a couple episodes of Gem with my husband and my youngest one night. And here's my facts. And I feel like I should call these very grown-up themes I totally forgot about in the show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. First of all, she's making out in the beginning 5 seconds of the
I was
theme
going to say, wasn't she kissing someone in the opening number?
which is fine. Like, that's not bad. I'm just
Totally.
saying.
It's just funny because it's
a kid's show.
cartoon, right?
Like, I don't know. All right. So episodes like frequently revolve around Jerica's efforts to keep her two identities separate, just like Hannah Montana, like the age-old tale. But she's also trying to protect Synergy from those who might exploit the holographic technology, which also makes no sense when you watch it, and support the 12 foster children known as the Starlight Girls who live with her in the holograms. Totally forgot about that in the cartoon, that she had a foster home. Did you remember this?
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That is...
So her father had Starlight Music. He used the money from there to have a foster home and take care of these 12 girls that live there.
Wow.
So that's very grown-up stuff, right? The other thing was, I knew the Misfits were naughty. And frequently, they try to upstage Gem, and the holograms are like the typical, rival, whatever. But usually, their, like, hijinks, like, often nearly result in serious physical harm to them.
Oh, my God.
In the very first episode, they're trying to drive their van off a cliff.
Oh, my God.
Swear to God.
It's like some Heather stuff.
It's legit. I mean, it's crazy. I was like, whoa. So then this rivalry is encouraged and manipulated by their manager and central villain. Here we go.
Yeah.
Eric Raymond. So he's the former half owner of Starlight Music. He tried to like take it over from Gem and she wouldn't let him because he's evil. But he runs Misfits Music. That none of the rest of the stuff I typed mattered, but he's mean and he is also trying to always get revenge on Gem, and it's like very adult, rude revenge stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like a lot, and even Cooper was watching it. Was like, wow,
They're driving her off a cliff.
that's
What's
like a
going on?
lot. He's
Yeah.
like, that's a lot for a cartoon, right? But then the most crazy thing, Jerica also deals with a complex and emotionally draining love triangle involving herself, her alter identity, which is Gem, and then Rio Pacheco, who is Jerica's boyfriend.
Oh my God.
So, like, Rio romantically pursues both of them at the same time, not knowing they're the same chick.
Oh my God.
And it's like, so bizarre. Like, I totally forgot how bizarre that was. But then while I was watching, I was like, I remember even as a kid being like, wait a minute. She knows he's like trying to be with both girls. Why is she still with him as each girl?
Exactly.
Weird.
That's weird,
Like,
right?
that's some grown-up soap opera stuff.
That is, and I feel like the answer is probably, and this isn't necessarily the right answer, that she's so worried about, for whatever reason, the two identities being mixed, that it's like, ooh, if I say I know, then he's going to want to know how I know, and then someone's going to find out that I'm the same person.
I know.
But it's wild. That's
Wild.
very soap opera. It's very much like your evil twin that comes back from the dead kind of storyline.
Correct. Well, then it gets even more complicated because later in the series, Jim then is romantically sought after by Riot, who's the lead singer of that other bad band.
Oh, right.
Who becomes infatuated with her, which adds even more confusing complexities.
Oh, my
It's
goodness.
very adult themes in a
Yeah.
kid's show. Like, I don't know.
Well, then that's the question. Is it a kid's show?
I don't know.
Or is it a cartoon for adults?
I don't know. But listen, the clothes, the colors, the makeup. Oh, I was so here for it.
So good. Yeah.
And even Cooper was watching and he's like, man, the girl who's voicing Jem can really sing. And she can.
Yeah.
Another fun thing is while I was watching, I forgot. This was like during when MTV was like at its peak. And in the cartoon, they would have little segments of like videos when they would burst into song, but it would have like in the left-hand corner, like Jem and the Holograms and whatever their song name is. And they do like a little video for a few seconds of their song. And it was so much fun.
I love that.
Yeah, which sounds weird, and maybe that didn't translate.
No, I think that sounds cool.
But anyway, I loved that. Something else I remembered was that I had a Jem doll. Do you see the picture I have of her right there?
I got to scroll down. Aww.
I had that exact one. Okay, that was the first Jem doll that came out. Her earrings lit up. She had a switch on the back of her neck.
Oh my God.
So you could do show's over synergy, and turn. Sorry.
And only that. No, just kidding.
Can you tell that I used to do that all the time? Like,
I think I know how we're closing this show, but yes.
Anyway, I loved her clothes. They were so much more fun than Barbie because they were just more like punky and
more
even sexy
more
and like edgy. I loved
yeah.
them. But here's the deal, y'all. She was a full up inch bigger than Barbie.
Oh.
So she looked like this giant and she couldn't wear Barbie stuff. She couldn't drive. I had a Barbie BMW that was remote controlled.
Aww.
She couldn't fit in it. Like, because she was so tall. And then, like, I didn't have the Rio doll because I didn't like him. So, like, I'd have her with, like, my Ken dolls or whatever. And she'd be, like, towering.
Like giant.
So she didn't fit in any of my Barbie, like, dream house nonsense. It was so annoying. I'm sure they did that on purpose.
I guess, but I mean, I guess nowadays all the dolls are the same size, but
Yeah.
maybe like back then you didn't want to be like Barbie. You
guess.
didn't want to fit in all that stuff. You wanted to be different.
But listen, that was messed up. Whoever
Yeah.
did that. Little
Don't do
girls
that.
everywhere were annoyed.
It wasn't a child who made that decision.
I mean, obviously.
Because if they had asked you, it would
It
have
wasn't
been
a child.
different.
Well, let's hope not, because oh
I am
man.
giving so much great like depth to this episode.
All right. Here's my thing. This brings me to the end of my 80s, and I'm wondering if we should stop and do a part 1 and a part 2.
I think so.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I knew this was going to be very long.
And also I have to pee. So
Oh, me too. Okay.
So if for no other reason,
So
We have to do
we're going
that.
to close out our 80s throwback, and then we're going to jump into a part 2 for 90s.
I love that.
Okay?
This was really fun. So to recap, the ones that I
Yes.
maybe will try.
Okay.
Wuzzles and the dinosaur one. I've seen Jem.
Yeah, you
I
remember
would maybe
Jem.
watch Jem again.
I highly recommend to those of you who loved Jem, revisit it now.
Okay.
You can find them on YouTube. We found them, no problem. And you'll be like, huh, that's very adult.
Like what?
Like,
Yeah.
but I'm glad. Okay, so Katie's not like totally irritated
No,
by
I'm good. I'm good. These were good. Snorks are out. Like, I almost got up and walked out, but I was like, I'm going to stick around.
her face
Surely
when at the
it's gonna
very
get
first
better.
one. Anyways, all right, so we're gonna close it here, and then we're gonna come back in for 90s. So I'll just say thanks for listening to Generation in Between,
Yes.
our 80s part 1.
Part 1.
So until next time on part 2, show's over, Synergy.
We'll see you in the 90s.
Bye.